let's look at para formation now. Okay, now this is a very tasty topic, and I say tasty because it is a lot of fun. You can so there is a huge risk actually involved with para formation. If you can get it right, if you can read it properly, and if you can get it right, you can immediately know what is going to be the correct sequence, and you can gain 5 marks almost immediately. एक बार you have put in let's say 30-40 seconds, or let's say even if you give it a minute, it's fine. Because by solving it under 1 minute or 2 minutes, you can get answers to 5 questions. Okay, so we're going to do that quickly, and we're going to quickly answer that here. So let's just read it fast. Technology involves the application of scientific ideas and principles, practical and instruments. If one were to trace the history of, one would find that for a long time that the two. Okay, the two, it refers to history, to science and technology. It is only recently, perhaps in the last century, that half that science and technology have developed a strong independence. Science can be defined as a set of methods for understanding nature and use of observation, experimental analysis for good measure our values and nature's ways of ours. So tied to science and technology, perhaps inherently defined for involved. Okay, several technologies were not really based on scientific level, but did not even have a scientific explanation. Okay, so as we know, what do we do in para formation, in para jumbles? We try to see the opening statement, the origin, the opening statement of the origin. Quickly, we'll just look at the tips there that we are going to rule out. Some sentences can be easily ruled out. कि हाँ, ये first तो होगा ही नहीं, as it does not bring a new direction, it does not bring some new topic. So look at the origin first. By looking at that, I think I can see technology involves to practical. Okay, this is something that could be, if one were to trace, if one would find that for a long time the two content independently. Okay, this is the sentence that introduces the history of science and technology into this. Other sentences speak particularly on that topic. A sentence speaks on technology. C तो वो recently की बात कर रहा है तो वो अलग है. D it speaks particularly about science. And for E, it is something that it is going on more further. It is going on technology plus humanity. So it is, it's only natural that we place E in the later parts of the sentences. And even F talks about some technologies that were not even based. Okay, so F is also something that would, kind of come in the middle. It won't be a closing statement, but somewhere in the middle. Let's figure it out. So I have a very strong feeling that B would be the first one because it introduces the topic of science and technology first. All right, B is done. Let's say which is the next then. Science can be defined as a set. Okay, so we are going to talk about individual points first. For that we have D and A. Now we have to select between कि पहले D आएगा कि पहले A आएगा. Look at A first. Technology involves the application of scientific ideas. Okay, scientific. Okay, the word science again comes over here. So I think if technology involves science, science has to be given first. That what is the meaning of science? So let's include D first. We are going with D first. Then after D, the natural formation would be A, of course. Instrumental length. Chalo, itna sort ho gaya. So this is done. This is done. This is done. What is left? We have C left. We have E left, and we have F left. It is only recently that okay, for good measures in the future. So okay, this talks about something about the future. So future की बातें generally हम लोग end में करते हैं, right? This is also one more indicative point. We do not talk about the future in just about in the middle. First we establish what the idea is. We talk about the past. We talk about what is going on currently, and then we go on the future. ठीक है? आप chronology समझो. Okay. So we have B, D, A. Now let's see what we can put. BDA हो गया, F C. Okay, E तो last में रखते हैं, so E का हो गया. F और C में से decide कर लेते हैं. It's only recently. Okay, it is only recently. It refers to what exactly? Several technologies. Some did not have any scientific explanations. See, I found it. F talks about कि there are several technologies that did not have scientific explanations. It is only recently that they have found the scientific explanations. So the natural flow comes as F, C, and E. And this is how it is done. You have found the sequence, and with that, you have found the answers to 5 or even 6 of them. Okay. So let's just quickly copy into this next slide, ki kya tha, and then we'll quickly answer it. Or you can answer that easily, obviously. pay special attention to see what are they trying to ask. They're asking the first, fifth, second. Okay. CET में अगर questions even if they come like this, no, 1, 2, 3, do not basically have this illusion कि first line पूछेंगे, then second पूछेंगे, because sometimes in a hurry we tend to do that. The sequence you have written, you have tend to हाँ चल इसका B, इसका A ऐसा, and they are also very smartly they have rearranged the options. So be careful about that. Okay, because you get marks for marking that option and not just for solving and determining the sequence. Okay, so that there is done. Hope you're good with paraformations. Okay. Quickly we can see here. One twist is this one I have put deliberately because this is there is one sentence that does not belong to the context. Now here you have to be very careful because while determining the flow of this whole context, ki kya baat kar rahe hai, kya hai nahi, you have to remove something that is not included in this paragraph. That simply does not make sense. Okay, a tough task, but let's see. Children are fond of playing with jigsaw puzzle. They use to fit biography, glimpse of its flaws in life. Okay, one can find glimpses to be true. Okay, possible to claim as a fragmenting glimpses, mistakes may creep in. Okay, children love playing games indoor. Okay, this is a generic statement. Try to take a note in your head. Okay, or if you're not that great with solving, you can even take a note on your paper while you're solving. कि ये sentence तो थोड़ा odd ही लग रहा है वैसे. It's quite a generic sentence. Sometimes the players make mistakes in inside the piece. Okay. Now, what we saw, they are talking about something about the jigsaw puzzle. Something related to a jigsaw puzzle must be something that fits in, right? Something has to fit in there. So let's see what are they trying to put it together. So jigsaw puzzle wala, so A to sentence aayega, B does not complete, does not have flaws in life. Okay, even this makes sense. Nevertheless, in spite of one can find glimpses. Okay, glimpse hai, so even this is true. You can find the keywords also. It is possible to glimpses mistakes may creep in, right? Sometimes players make mistakes. The point D talks about the mistakes and point F again talks about refers to those mistakes. So yes, even that is true. And we can naturally then we can rule out E that कि children की तो बात कर ही नहीं रहे यहाँ पे. ये बस A point में लिखा है children does not mean कि हम children की बात कर रहे हैं. We're talking about this jigsaw puzzle and talking about the glimpses of life basically, what mistakes and what not. Okay, now the task is done. Now just we have to figure out how do we place it there. Okay, so with these glimpses, okay, A refers to these glimpses. So obviously A is not an opening statement. There is some opening statement and then A aega. Just because of only a glimpse of it, but does not mean there are flaws. Okay. In other words, it starts with it, so it nahi aayega. Nevertheless, would never start a paragraph would never start with nevertheless. So even that is out. Sometimes the mistakes and so that the picture gets spoiled. Okay. Sometimes of a segment generally it is a reference to something. So even that does not make sense for the first sentence. I don't think it will be the first sentence altogether. Okay. So that just leaves us with B. B would be the first sentence that just because a biography may not be complete, but only as a glimpse of it, does not mean that there are flaws in that life itself. Okay. Again, then there are flaws in life. Again, nevertheless, in spite of it, okay, we are contradicting something. One can find the glimpses to be complete in themselves. Okay. B point speaks that there are glimpses, there are flaws. C speaks that flaws be hone do, but okay, it might be complete. Okay, naturally goes next. What comes next is how does that happen? It is possible that putting in together this fragmentary mistakes may creep in. Okay, we have introduced the mistakes point B. Now let's see, we have A and F with these glimpses. Sometimes the players may, what players? They are talking about some players. Players के लिए कुछ तो गेम खेलना पड़ेगा. गेम क्या है? Playing है, jigsaw puzzle है. So F. So it is only natural that F would follow A. F would follow A. अभी बचा ही दो space है तो F, A and F. Okay, we have got the sequence. Voila. Sometimes you don't need to look at the basically ki pura kaisa baith raha hai. You can even work it part by part. Ki what follows what, and then you can piece it together. Okay. Now this part is done.